Okay then, well, it's that time of year again. Summer's drawing to a close. It's September, and it's the time of year, early September, when my T120 needs MOTing and gets its annual service. So that's where that is at the moment, and I've borrowed this brand new Triumph Speed Twin, a 900cc Speed Twin. Now, once you get over the initial lack of acceleration compared to the T120, it's a lovely little bike. It feels very light and small and nimble. It's a little bit basic, even compared to the T120, which is saying something, but you've got everything you need. I was a little bit confused when I first got on it. I was looking for the headlight switch, but there isn't one, because you ride with the headlight permanently on. All you've got is your high and low beam switch. Obviously you've got your indicators and hazards and things, but very little else. Very uncluttered, the switch gear. There's a mode button, and just like on the T120, you've got two modes, rain and road. So it's all very simple to use. You've not got a rev counter. Can't even see that there's an electronic one. Got an analog speedo. You've got that very useful gear indicator that tells you what gear you're in. Fuel gauge and total mileage. So you're not being bombarded with loads of information. It's just very basic, the stuff that you need to know. How much fuel you've got. But my first impression, as I say, when I got on it, was it felt a little sluggish, but once you get used to it, it's a lovely little bike. I mean, really well balanced. Smooth as a, well, whatever. No lurchiness. Beautiful throttle response. A nice exhaust note when you let it rev a bit. I'm not talking thrashing the nuts off it. The mirrors aren't the prettiest in the world. They're very similar to what was originally fitted to my T120, but at the end of the day, if you want to see something, and they're very good. There's no vibration, so there's no blur in them, and you can actually see behind you. The brakes seem all right, they're adequate, but they don't seem exceptional. The back one doesn't seem to have much feel to it, to be honest. and I'm currently having to give it quite a bit of pressure to do anything. The front one seems fine. You certainly don't feel as though you're going to lock the front wheel up. The riding position felt a little bit strange when I first got on it, but soon got used to it. It's quite comfortable. The seat's comfortable as well so far, although as I say, I haven't covered any great mileage. Up into fourth. Seems quite happy at fourth. Get a nice relaxed feeling riding around in fourth. Just drop down into third to come through this village. Well, I've got her in top gear now, fifth gear, and she's really smooth and comfortable. Toddling along quite happily at 60 mile an hour. And unlike the street scrambler, you don't feel exposed like you do on the street scrambler. Trying to go at higher speeds on the scrambler, I found you were getting all the wind right in your chest. But with these bars being a little bit lower and perhaps not quite so wide, yeah, it's not a bad riding position at all. I mean, you can quite easily lean forward if you wish, but now I think 60 or 70 mile an hour just sat normally would be perfectly attainable and comfortable. The suspension's lovely. I haven't had the front forks bottom out, or no clunking, no clanking. Really comfortable. Soaks up all the lumps and bumps on these back lanes. Just stop for a breather next to an old nodding donkey, old oil well. Anyway, besides that, this Triumph Street Twin 900, cracking little bike. Really am impressed with it. Smooth, responsive, light, handles like a dream. And it's small, smaller than the T120, and you can spin it round on country lanes. You know, if you need to turn round, there's no problems, you're not struggling. And it appears to be quite frugal on fuel, as I said earlier on. 88.2 miles to the gallon it seems to be averaging. But yeah, lovely little thing it is. Cast alloy wheels. Looks like Fox rear suspension. Everything you'd really, very basic, but everything that you need. I'm not so sure whether the indicators are standard. I think they must be. So you've got LED indicators, you ain't got those horrible big chrome things with the bulbs in like you get on, or you used to get on the T120. I don't know whether you still do. I know mine came with them, hideous things. And yeah, nice little bike. Really, really impressed with it. And that Brembo brake, I didn't think there was much feel to it at first, but it's very progressive. It's not snatchy, so when you do need it to work, it works. overall, a smart little bike. I don't know what they cost, but ideal for commuting and just knocking about on. A lovely little thing.